Take a journey through time and explore the marvels of the ancient world, from the towering Lighthouse of Alexandria to the magnificent Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Each wonder holds a story waiting to be uncovered. Hello, and welcome back to The Abandoned Archaeologist, the channel to learn all about ancient archaeological findings. Today, we'll delve into the past and discover the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But before we begin, to get your attention, we have a question you can answer at the end of the video. When were the 7 wonders of the ancient world built? Write down your answer in the comment section and see if you got it right. Here we begin. Lighthouse of Alexandria. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was a towering structure built on the island of Pharos, just outside the harbor of Alexandria, Egypt, in the 3rd century BCE. It stood at over 100 meters, or 330 feet, and was dedicated to Zeus Soter, also known as the Deliverer. It was commissioned by the Ptolemy I Soter and completed by his son Ptolemy II. The purpose of the lighthouse was to guide and protect sailors, and it was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The architect, Sostratus of Cnidos, constructed the lighthouse on the very tip of the limestone islet of Pharos. The tower was white and had 3 floors, the lowest being rectangular, the middle one octagonal, and the top one round. A statue of Zeus Soter adorned the top of the tower, and a fire was kept burning to make it visible at night. The structure inspired countless copycat structures in harbors around the Mediterranean. Statue of Zeus at Olympia. The statue of Zeus at Olympia was a masterpiece of ancient Greek art and architecture, created by the renowned sculptor Phidias in 435 BC. This awe-inspiring figure stood at an impressive 41 feet tall and was made of ivory plates and gold panels arranged on a wooden framework, a technique known as chryselephantine sculpture. The statue's throne was equally impressive, adorned with ebony, ivory, gold, and precious stones. The statue's magnificence earned it a place among the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The statue's creation was highly competitive, with the Hellenes winning the right to have Phidias create their masterpiece. The statue was so large that it took up half the width of the aisle of the temple in which it was housed, and its throne was a work of art in itself, featuring painted figures and wrought images decorated with gold, precious stones, ebony, and ivory. The statue was said to be coated with olive oil to protect the ivory from the grove's marshiness and to enhance its already imposing presence. The statue's legacy lives on in ancient Greek descriptions and representations on coins, as the original statue was eventually destroyed, with various accounts describing how and when it happened. Regardless, the statue's impact and influence on ancient Greek culture and art cannot be overstated, and it remains an iconic example of ancient artistry and craftsmanship. Hanging Gardens. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon are one of the most intriguing mysteries of the ancient world. Despite being one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, there is no conclusive evidence to prove their existence. The gardens were said to have been built by the Neo-Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II for his Median wife, Queen Amadis. Several theories regarding their origins exist. Some suggest the gardens were mythical, while others believe they may have been destroyed in the 1st century AD. The lack of archaeological evidence has led to much uncertainty about the Hanging Gardens. However, Oxford scholar Stephanie Daly has proposed that the gardens were the well-documented gardens constructed by the Assyrian king Sennacherib for the palace of Nineveh. Archaeological excavations have found traces of a vast system of aqueducts attributed to Sennacherib by an inscription on its remains, which Daly posts were part of an 80-kilometer series of canals, dams, and aqueducts used to carry water to Nineveh, with water-raising screws used to raise it to the upper levels of the gardens. Great Pyramid of Giza. The Giza Pyramids, built for 3 kings and designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are among the 7 wonders of the world. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is the largest, standing at a height of 481.4 feet and constructed from 2.3 million blocks of stone. It is a remarkable feat of engineering, with a yellowish limestone core, light-colored limestone passages, and a granite burial chamber. The north side's entrance leads to a descending corridor, an ascending passageway, and chambers. Two narrow shafts run through the masonry to the exterior, but their purpose is unknown. The question of how the pyramids were built remains unanswered, but it is believed that a sloping embankment of brick, earth, and sand was used to haul up the stone blocks. Herodotus claimed it took 20 years and 100,000 men to build the Great Pyramid, but recent evidence suggests a more limited workforce. Temple of Artemis. The Temple of Artemis was an ancient Greek temple located in Ephesus, Turkey, dedicated to the goddess of hunting and wild animals. The earliest version was built in the Bronze Age and destroyed by a flood. The second version was funded by Croesus of Lydia and designed by Cherasiphron and his son Menegenes, but was destroyed by arson. The final and most magnificent version was funded by the Ephesians and considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. The temple had 36 columns, decorated with intricate carvings in relief, and a cult statue of Artemis, crafted by Endois, was housed in an enclosed shrine. The site was sacred even before the temple was built, with evidence of occupation dating back to the Bronze Age. Although the temple no longer stands, visitors can still marvel at the fragments and foundations at the site. The Temple of Artemis is a testament to the creativity and ingenuity of the ancient Greeks. Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus was a tomb built between 353 and 350 BC in Bodrum, Turkey, for Mausolus, the ruler of Caria, and his sister wife Artemisia II. Designed by 2 Greek architects, Satyros and Pythias of Priene, the 45-meter-tall tomb was adorned with sculptural reliefs by 4 Greek sculptors and contained 400 freestanding sculptures. The mausoleum was declared one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world by Antipater of Sidon. Unfortunately, the tomb was destroyed by earthquakes between the 12th and 15th centuries, and the word mausoleum is now used generically for an above-ground tomb. Mausolus chose the city of Halicarnassus to build a new capital that was as safe from capture as magnificent to be seen. He spent large amounts of tax money to embellish it, founded many cities of Greek design along the coast, and encouraged Greek democratic traditions. After Mausolus died in 353 BC, Artemisia continued the building project and sent messengers to Greece to find the most talented artists. The tomb was erected on a hill overlooking the city and sat in an enclosed courtyard. The whole structure sat on a stone platform with statues of gods and goddesses along its outer walls. The marble tomb rose as a square tapering block to 1/3 of the height, where it was crowned by a step pyramid. Colossus of Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes was a colossal bronze statue of the sun god Helios that stood guard over the harbor of Rhodes, one of the busiest ports in the ancient Mediterranean. The statue, crafted by local sculptor Charles, stood 33 meters tall and was celebrated as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, drawing visitors from far and wide to marvel at its grandeur. Helios was the patron deity of Rhodes, and the statue was erected to honor him and commemorate the island's victory over Demetrius of Macedon. To finance the statue's construction, the Rhodians used the siege engines left behind by Demetrius. Unfortunately, however, the Colossus's magnificence was short-lived, as it was brought down by an earthquake in 228 or 226 BCE. The statue lay in ruins for centuries, and its shattered pieces filled the harbor of Rhodes. It was eventually sold as scrap metal in the mid-7th century CE. Although no surviving representations or models of the Colossus remain, depictions of Helios on Hellenistic silver coins of Rhodes suggest that the statue may have depicted the god with his characteristic crown of pointed sunbeams. The statue was not holding a torch, as is commonly thought, but most likely stood with one hand shading his eyes. This is it. The answer to our question is, the 7 wonders of the ancient world were built over several centuries, from around 2500 BC to 250 BC. Comment below and subscribe for more.